Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and I've been fasting until like 5 o'clock every day. I don't really eat anything except dinner, and some days I'm hungry, some days I'm not. Today is one of those days I'm like thinking about what I would love to eat. It is 1 o'clock Eastern time, and it's a rough day, but guess what? I'm a pretty stubborn guy, my wife will tell you. Link to, check this out. They're promoting their artificial intelligence private equity on the platform. You'll see some here. ASAP, Cerebras, H2O.ai, Sambanova, SnapLogic, Standard AI. Much like the internet, the influence of AI is such that it will soon be impossible to remember what life was like without it. That's why we've invested in emerging AI leaders. Check them out. Link to one of my sponsors, links in the top of the description. Go check it out. This is an interesting tweet. This Uptown Saul guy says, if XRP is $10 at some point in the future, and we look back at Ripple, quote, dumping on retail, that's one of the things all the anti-Ripple people or the people against Ripple always say, oh, they dumped on retail. When it was under $1, will it then become selling at a discount? The oldest picture of you is also the youngest picture of you. Yeah, well, those same people that criticize them then say, oh, wait, that wasn't that big of a deal. I want to show you what a couple of these chart guys are saying. eGrag Crypto, he's saying XRP only 2,500%. If you can't see the incredible potential of XRP in the chart below, he keeps on highlighting this, what this thing did. And I say the same thing. All of the roadblocks, look, XRP did this, okay, when the roadblocks were not in front of it. And then it went up from nothing all the way up, and we're talking thousands of percent gain in 2018. All of the roadblocks were put in place from this point, which we've talked about, all the roadblocks, all the way to when they prevailed over the SEC. So to think this idea, remember, XRP is the only digital asset with legal clarity in the United States, period. That includes Bitcoin. The idea that it could go crazy from here is reasonable and logical for me. That's why I'm here, folks. There's blue skies ahead. 2,500%, I think he's saying that equals about $20. Let us pray. And then Dark Defender comes in. I hadn't seen anything out of him in a while. He says, hi there. We discussed XRP stopped at 93 cents, named as Wave 1, proceeding with Wave 2 corrective. Step 2 of September. We called the final supports. XRP is now hovering on 46 cent support. If we see below this, the final support will be 39 cents. Then I expect this WT correction to be over in the Wave 3. Targets of 188 and $5.85 will be in play. I hope he's right. This is Mohammed El Arian. He's a Wall Street analyst guy. Listen to what he says about crypto.
Okay, in the meantime, you have other things that are taking place. Yesterday, Jamie Dimon was railing against the new capital requirements for banks, saying that that's going to slow things down in a big way, the amount of lending that banks can and will do as a result, and that will have an impact on the economy. Do you worry about that?
I do. I think Jamie is absolutely right in saying that higher capital requirements is not the answer to what happened in March and April. March and April was a problem of supervision, that the problem was identified, but nothing was done to force these banks to deal with the maturity mismatches. To then react and increase capital yet again is not the right policy response. And there was a risk that that will not just lower credit, but push it into the non-bank segment. And that segment is well less supervised and regulated.
I was going to ask you to move on to crypto, if you'd indulge me for a second, because we always have these crypto conversations. And there seems to be this thing happening. I don't know, Joe, we were talking about $25,000 with Bitcoin. Meanwhile, BlackRock and all of these folks, all the folks that we thought were never going to do this, are now doing it, and yet it's not moving at all.
Well, it's moving today.
I don't think you thought they weren't going to do it.
Sure, 26.
I think you knew they were.
This is 26.
It was 4 when we started saying it wasn't going anywhere. 4,000.
Oh, well, okay. But the question is this now a risk on, a risk off thing? How do you even correlate this to what's happening with the Fed? Because for a long time you used to talk about crypto in regard to the Fed.
So I think crypto is settling as part of the ecosystem. I think people have recognized it is not the new global currency. People have also recognized it's not going to disappear tomorrow. It's becoming institutionalized. And I think, actually, if I were a crypto person, I think this maturation process is a good thing. Where it moves from day to day is, I can't really comment on.
All right, I think he's right. I think you are seeing the writing on the wall. Look, Franklin Templeton files with the SEC for a spot Bitcoin ETF now. Here's a list of the ETFs or the companies that have filed ETFs. Total of 17.7 trillion in assets under management. BlackRock, Fidelity, Franklin Templeton, Invesco Galaxy, Wisdom Tree, VanEck, Global X, ARK Invest, Bitwise, Valkyrie, and none of them have announced an XRP ETF for the only digital asset with legal clarity. That's how you know this is all a game, folks. Watch this. Hold on. This is however you say that name, which I'm not even going to try to butcher, Executive Director of the Reserve Bank of India.
Coming to your question of the CBDC, you must have heard and possibly must be knowing also, but CBDC is a digital form of Indian currency, that is rupee. It is a legal tender. It has all the characteristics of currency, that what we can say is a trust, immediate settlement, finality. All those features what currency can have by way of store of value, means of payment or unit of account, all these digital currency carry. In addition, possibly it also carries the advantages of being digital. Means, I am talking about in the context of the private currencies, generally what we know as a crypto or stable coins, etc. and etc. The narrative what is built in, what they can offer, the other currency cannot offer. But the risk what they bring in is significant to the individuals, what we have witnessed, to the investors, and to the sovereign and the policy makers. So therefore, CBDC is a wonderful opportunity and is a great motivation for most of the central bankers, including RBI, actually to bring it as an alternative, as an option for the customer, the people, common people, to use it as per their choice and convenience.
There you go. And check this out. This is the CBDC conference that Ripple is a part of that's maybe going on now. It says Ripple is a gold member. Look, R3 is a silver partner. Here's the Digital Euro Association. There's AWS, FinTech Istanbul. Then we have this, just a little reminder. This Bitcoin Magazine put this out. New VP of ASIC miner Canaan, Bitcoin price could hit $100,000 as having cut supply. Notice they're all Chinese. That is because Bill Hinman was a part of all of this. This included meeting this is an old John Deaton tweet. This included meeting his China office partner on the very same day that a letter went out from Hinman's division regarding the Canaan IPO. An IPO handled by Hinman's law firm. By the way, what did Canaan make? Bitcoin and Ethereum mining hardware. I wonder if his speech helped in any way. Then we had Gary Gensler was going before the Senate, banking committee today. He's already done it. I don't know if they're still doing it or not, but I saw part of it. And I said, here's the first question, since he's going up there, that I would ask Senator Haggerty, who I think is one of the good guys. I would say, why aren't you filing suit against JP Morgan for the development of a token? Is it not a security because they aren't the incumbent? Is that a new Howie prong? If you're an incumbent, you don't satisfy the security requirements? Because JP Morgan just announced that they're creating a digital deposit token, and Gary seems to think everything's a security. Eleanor Terrett says in his opening statement, Senator Tim Scott says Gary Gensler is guilty of dereliction of duty for not answering his letters. This is one of the first times someone in Senate banking has called him out for failing to comply with his statutory mandate. Then here's Gary talking crypto.
And help protect Americans from the crypto abuses that cost
Rod
consumers
Brown's
billions.
one of the bad guys.
If they were to live up to the investor protection built into their current laws, it would help investors. But right now, unfortunately, there's significant non-compliance, and it's a field which is rife with fraud, abuse, and misconduct.
Right. Who are the only two guys who have been able to come in and see the SEC in crypto and be able to successfully get something? Sam Bankman-Fried, John Deaton calls him Sam Bankman-Fraud, and Joseph Lubin, the guy that helped millionaire whales disguise themselves in the Ethereum ICO. These are the guys that Gary is okay with. And he's talking about fraud. Then we've got this. This is from Senator Haggerty.
Last month, the U.S. Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia unanimously ruled that the SEC's denial of Grayscale's spot Bitcoin ETF was, quote, arbitrary and capricious. They argued that the product is mathematically indistinguishable from already approved futures products currently trading on U.S. exchanges. So my question is, can you explain what the SEC needs to see in a filing to approve a spot Bitcoin ETF? And what questions do you still need answered from issuers about the market and or market infrastructure in order to allow this to happen? I'd just like to get some clarity.
Chair Gensler.
Senator, I thank you for the question. We're still reviewing that decision and reviewing. We have multiple filings around Bitcoin exchange-traded products, so it's not just that one you mentioned, but it's multiple others who are reviewing them, and I'm looking forward to staff's recommendations. So it's similar questions.
All righty. And then we've got this from Tom Emmer. You know, in the past, I've disagreed with Warren Davidson because he said CBDCs and anybody working on them, it's just pure evil. And I made the point, look, I'm not for CBDCs that are used for control or any kind of evil. I would be against that, and I'd be vocal against it. I think Tom Emmer's going about this the right way. He says, today with 49 of my Republican colleagues, I reintroduced the CBDC Anti-Surveillance State Act. It is not, if not designed to emulate cash, a government digital currency would dismantle Americans' right to financial privacy and embolden the administrative state. I won't let that happen. What my updated bill provides the Fed from, it prohibits the Fed from issuing a retail CBDC while protecting innovation and future development of true digital cash. How this bill puts a check on unelected bureaucrats and ensures the U.S. digital currency policy upholds our American values of privacy and sovereignty, free market competitiveness. Why the administration has made it clear President Biden is willing to compromise the American people's right to financial privacy for a surveillance-style CBDC. I don't believe in compromising Americans' rights. Bottom line, if not open, permissionless, and private like cash, a CBDC is nothing more than CCP-style surveillance tool that can be weaponized to oppress the American way of life. The reason he's right, folks, the reason we can't have a CBDC like this is the same reason all of us have been censored on social media. Once these guys have a way to control the money like that, it's a disaster, and I 1,000% agree. I just don't think that means that you say we can never have any digital CBDC. It's just the way it's designed that's important for these people to have bills to protect us, and I get it. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family that I am down with Tom Emmer on this issue. Thanks for listening.